Hi everybody, thanks for coming to my channel. This video is, I'm just going to kind of walk you through the process of making this tag. A lot of times instead of cards, I like to make a tag and then I just put it on the gift bag. This is with the collection Heart, and this can be purchased at the time of this video at countrycraftcreations.com. I had already made an album, and so if you want to take a look at that, I will link that video in the description box. And so I just thought I would make a tag to go with that book that I'm going to give to my aunt. So this is a 4x6 tag, and I'm just going to call this the tag along video. And let's go ahead and get started. It's really simple, and I'm not really much of a card maker, so like I said, I usually do tags. So if you take a look, I just have the paper. I do have a thin piece of chipboard in between the two pieces of paper, and I just have a cluster in the bottom left of flowers, used cut apart in paper from the collection, and then I have some lace and a little bit of bling here and there, and some gold washi from my stash, and I just used a gold elastic band at the top so it can wrap around the bag handles. So that's what we're going to make real quick. It should be a really quick video. Let me just go ahead and talk to you a little bit about some of the things that I have done and pre-cut. So this is a 4x6 tag. It's 6 long, 4 across, and I'm going to go ahead and use my what do they call it? My corner chomper, and I just use this to make the edges on my tag. This is the angle and the photo, and I use the angle on that one. So I have two pieces of paper cut. They are both 4x6 also. I don't use a border on my tags. I want to fully cover this little piece of thin chipboard. This is like the weight of a cereal box. So what I'm going to do next is go ahead and angle the corners of these two pieces of paper with my, oh, that doesn't look like I got it all the way. There we go. All right. So I'm done with that. Now I am going to do some layering like I did on the other one, and I just had a piece of scrap paper that I used. This one happens to measure 2.5 by 5 1/4. Okay, I'm not going to angle this one, and I'm just going to layer that on like so. I do have a cut apart. I did cut it a little bit shorter, wider. Let's see, what am I trying to say here? This is actually 3.5 by 3.5, so instead of a 4x4. Okay, I have a die that is a bow, and so I did cut out the pieces for the bow. You might have a punch or your own die. I have a saying here, a sticker from the collection that I just put on black paper that says "Love You Forever." I have a kind of a sage color applique that I had in my stash. This is the ribbon I'll be using, and then I have some gold cording. Okay, so once you have your papers cut, I'm going to go ahead and ink my edges. I'm using the evergreen bow, or bow, I really don't know how you say that word, and I'm just going to go ahead and go around the edges of my paper, and I'm not trying to get a real strong color. I just want to cover up that white around the edges. This will be my back piece, and I usually just cover my tags with one piece, the paper that that I've chosen, and I don't decorate the back at all. I just add this paper. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ink the other pieces as well. And this last one here. This is an old dauber. It's one of those rectangular ones, but it does the trick. You know what? I'm actually going to do the bow also. So I'm just going to go ahead and just lightly go around the pieces that I have for the bow, so that when it's folded and you see that light border. I never used to ink my edges of things, and now I can't imagine not doing that. That's, I think, an important part to make your projects look nice. All right, so now we're just going to start doing some layering and some gluing. let's go ahead, you know, sometimes instead of the art glitter glue, I have been known to use this on my tags. I don't know why, I just really like it. It has a good stick and you have a little bit of wiggle room if you need to adjust it. But for this video, I am going to go ahead and use the art glitter glue. I've had an issue with my tip. I think I need a new one, but it should be fine for this small amount, maybe. So I'm just gonna put enough on there to get it to stick, and you have a little bit of wiggle room time. All right, and then once you have it on, I'm going to go ahead and just make sure it's on real well. Don't want any lifting on my corners, so I make sure I get the edges real well. I do have my glue gun heating up because when I put my flowers on, I use a hot glue gun. I'm going to go ahead and do the back. Now my glue seems to be coming out better. Okay, let's line that up. Looks good. Let's go ahead and make that sure that sticks real well. The thing about tags is I think sometimes people keep these longer. I don't know why, and I could be totally off base. But I hang a lot of my tags on the corner of a picture frame, or just kind of lay them in I have a curio cabinet, and sometimes I just kind of put a tag next to some of the things I have in there. So I keep mine, and they can be pretty fancy. And with the tags, putting them on a gift bag, you know, I put a lot of dimension on my tags, and so it's kind of hard to mail them. So this would just be for if I'm giving them in person, I guess. And I'm just going to center this, eyeball it. Doesn't have to be perfect. So a lot of times layering is the trick on these. Before I go any further, I am going to punch a hole in the top. And again, I just eyeball that, and I don't use anything fancy because this is thin chipboard. I can use a cheap paper punch instead of getting out the old crocodile. All right, so now after I have that, I'm going to go ahead and use some washi. I'm going to use this gold, and all I'm going to do again is eyeball it, and I'm going to go across where I think it would look good, and I'm going to lay that down, and from the other side I will trim it to the right length. Sure it's down real good. And a lot of times I put glue underneath my washi tape, but because I'm going to be gluing some things on top of it, it doesn't matter. Okay, so there's that. Now let's go ahead and add our cut apart, whichever one you like, and I am going to make sure it goes over this gold just a little bit. Layering is the key. See, this is going pretty fast, and I don't want it straight. Okay, adhere that down real good. I'm going to go ahead and make my bow. With this bow, I like to curl, give it a little bit of I just take a pencil and kind of roll it a little bit so that it wraps around and glues nicely. Put a little bit of glue here to lay it down. Have to hold it for a second. This, you could use a clothespin if you wanted to, but it dries pretty quick because there's not that much glue on there. Go ahead and do the other side. Just takes a little bit. Go ahead and have that go to the back. Pinch it down there for a second. Now I'm going to adhere that bow to the back piece. So I'll just put some more glue back here and center that as well as I can. About right there. And I'm just going to hold it for a second. Now I did go and find a little blingy piece that I'm going to put in the center of that bow. And so that's going to take a second to dry. I am going to use the art glitter glue. And if I leave it alone, after I push down, if I leave it alone, it should dry just fine. But I'm going to set that off to the side to let it dry. Okay. So next is the applique, and I'm going to, well, no, that's not true. I'm going to put the lace next. And I'm just going to run that across the bottom like so. And I'm going to use my glue gun for that. So I'm just going to put a thin strip of glue across the bottom. I'm going to lay this down. And I use a little, oopsie, I'm going to use a little spatula to pat it down so I don't burn my hands. Okay, once we've done that, let's go ahead and turn it over and trim the excess. And the other side. Alright, so there's our trim. This lighting looks kind of bad. I hope you can see the color. I don't know if the true colors are coming through on this, but alright, next we're going to go ahead and add our applique. And I do want it to come off a little bit on the side. You don't want to put everything exactly on the tag. Having it hang over a little bit adds a little interest and excitement there. So like so. So this one's going to be a little bit different than the other one. Obviously I'm using a couple different things that are not the same. This I think is dry, so I'm going to go ahead and put that in the corner. Actually I'm going to put it up there like so. Alright. So now my little flower arrangement and my saying. So I'll probably have the saying coming out somewhere from my flower arrangement, but I'm going to lay down this long piece first. I just cut this from, it was a big bunch, so you can see I just pulled it off that arrangement. And I'm going to actually lay this out real quick to kind of get an eye to see where I need to lay things. I have a variety of different flowers. I did want to incorporate a little bit of a different color, so I have that kind of beigey color. And I have a little bit of a blue. And I have this one if needed. Okay, so that, and then I have a little butterfly for this one. Okay, so that looks about good. I'm going to go ahead and remove these so I know where to glue this. And I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue like so. Push that down to adhere. And this is a little three-dimensional. It sticks up, and that's quite all right. I'm going to start with my largest flower and place that down first. Again, by just using hot glue. And now I'm going to place the yellow. I think I want the yellow on this side, being as this yellow in the tag is, I want to kind of space out the colors. I'm just going to tuck that underneath there. Let's go ahead and let's see. Yep, okay, so I'll do this one next. Just a dab of glue. And I'll put that about right like so. And that's so that I can stick this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, there's a hair, gross. Trying to decide what looks better. I don't want the bluish colored flower next to the green. I want to space that out, so I'll place this one. So notice I did not use a collection of flowers. I just mix and match what I have in my stash. And do I want this coming? Yep, I think I'm going to put that there, and I'll just use regular glue for that. And I'll stick that in here like so, and I want to see what it says. I do want that punch of blue down here. Tuck that underneath like so. I'm trying to decide if I need one more. I feel like this white one should have gone first. So let me move that and put the white one in first. And then I'll put the blue one in. Tuck it in right like so. And then I have this butterfly. And might tuck it underneath here so that it's kind of going off like so. So I'll just put glue on half of it, and the other half will hang off of the page. Okay, like so. Now I'm not sure if I like that a ton, but, and I feel like it needs something right here, but I don't know what. So let me take a look at what I have. Let's see. I have a little pearl, so I'm going to add that just because I don't like that empty space. And I'm going to actually put the glue on the tag instead of the bead. So I can just kind of shove that in. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to go ahead and do my tie up here, but I feel like it needs something over here, so I may have to work with that. I'm going to cut this about 9 inches, 10 inches long. Excuse me. I'm just going to go ahead and thread it through, line up those two pieces at the end, and knot it. Pull them and trim. Okay, so I think it looks nice, but I think I don't know what I want to do here. Maybe I need some sparkle there. Let me go ahead and add a little stickles in the center of this flower that's on the cut apart. If I can have any still in here. Yep, there we go. All right, and that's all I'm going to do for the sparkle. I think I have, let me take a look at the stickers, see if there's something I can add somewhere around here. So this is what I have left. I could add a heart. I have a flower. Let's see if there's any flowers on here. This one looks a little big, but you know what? Let me see. I can always put it back on the paper if I don't like it. Is that too much? Yeah, it is. If it was just a little bit smaller. Let's see. I know it needs something. Oh, here's a small flower. There we go. All right, I think that's all it needed. And voila, we have our tag. So tags go pretty quick. Yes, I did have some things laid out ahead of time, but in the scheme of things, I still think it goes really quickly. You just kind of got to look through your stash to add to your paper collection. Remember, this collection is called Heart, and it is by Simple Stories. Okay, let me show you this one with the other tag that I made, just to do a quick comparison. But you can get a lot of tags with the paper collection. Okay, so hopefully you can see the colors well enough on that. And that is our tags that we're going to add to the bag. So thanks for tagging along with me, everyone. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And there's a bell there that you can be notified when I put on a new video. I am a design team member for Country Craft Creations, so if you have not looked at them, they have a great online store. There's also a Facebook page called Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations, and if you ask to join, you're going to find a lot of inspiration and a lot of designers who can who provide you with free tutorials. So have a good day, everyone, and thanks for watching. Stop by again.